I think it's safe to say out of the 2 April events Apple has ever had, the one we got last month was pretty much the biggest one ever. We got new iPads, we got a redesigned iMac, we've got AirTags, we got a new Apple TV remote, we got services updates. There was so much Apple talked about, but of course in the back of our minds, everyone's like, yeah, but couldn't we have gotten more though? So in today's video, we're talking about things Apple did not announce that we thought might have been announced last month and when we might need to expect them later in the year. Let's begin. I think the biggest one that a lot of people are still waiting on is AirPods 3, mainly because 52 Audio dropped all kinds of leaks of this updated design. It's pretty much an open secret now. I mean, I'm not gonna be shocked at all if this comes as a site refresh in the coming weeks, but essentially we've seen lots of photos of an AirPods Pro looking type of design, but without the rubber tips. And these, of course, will not be rocking active noise cancellation. That's still gonna be a Pro feature, but they would likely have a cleaner design, better audio quality, hopefully better battery life. But for me, the top request for next generation AirPods, I don't really care that much about the design, would be U1 chip support. If they could actually start building AirTag style tech into AirPods so that you could use the Find My app to track them down more precisely, I'd be far more interested in that than just finding out that these new AirPods last like 5.5 hours on a charge instead of 5 hours. Yay, big update. But there's actually some iOS code that a few analysts are suggesting is going to launch alongside AirPods 3 because Spotify has confirmed that later in the year they're going to start supporting hi-fi audio quality, in other words, high fidelity, high bitrate audio, lossless audio, however you want to call it, basically super high quality music for creators to upload and viewers to then stream at a higher bandwidth. There's references in iOS 14 code that is suggesting that that type of feature is coming in the next few weeks, and of course lots of analysts are just tethering that to, okay, once this new lossless audio support comes out for Apple Music, that's likely when Apple will start shipping AirPods 3. And maybe AirPods 3 will have better audio quality to support more lossless audio, because there's actually some speculation going on for the AirPods that only certain types of AirPods would actually support the lossless audio format. Basically, you would need either AirPods Max or AirPods Pro to truly appreciate the higher bit rate. And if you have AirPods 1 or AirPods 2, sorry, they're just not gonna cut it. They don't have the silicon necessary to power such an amazing audiophile experience. So it does sound a little weird, especially after we had such a hardware-packed April event, and quadruple UDC is just a few weeks away now. Why would Apple have a site refresh in May? I know that sounds bizarre, but I once again will fall back on the Apple tradition of they don't like talking about AirPods during events. I don't know why. They've had plenty of opportunities to announce AirPods during events, and yet time and time again they choose not to. Not just for minor website refreshes like AirPods 2, but AirPods Pro also. They just got bored one day and dropped them on a random Monday. Also AirPods Max, which I never would have guessed in a million years that such a drastic redesign with the digital crown and the removable magnetic ear cushions and all the great high quality design they put into AirPods Max, that would be something they decide to drop via site refresh just after having like a 45-minute event just about the M1. No matter what, they're just like, yeah, let's just do site refreshes with AirPods. So the fact that AirPods 3 would almost definitely not be as big a deal as the introduction of AirPods Pro or AirPods Max makes sense to me that for whatever Apple's weird reasoning is, they wouldn't want to announce AirPods 3 at quadruple UDC or at the April event and instead just drop them halfway through May alongside this new lossless audio format, which the confusing part of the rumors I've been reading is that it would be a separate Apple Music tier that would allow for lossless audio, but that separate Apple Music tier is still rumored to cost $9.99. So it's not cheaper, in which case I wonder why would anyone opt for the hi-fi plan on Apple Music? Why not just include that on every plan if you want it, and if you don't have AirPods then support it, then great, just don't play the hi-fi files. But I'm really hoping this does not result in there being more tiers of Apple Music, because that would kind of annoy me if it's like, okay, you got your basic audio for $10 a month, but if you want that really crispy high fidelity audio, now you got to start paying $13 or $14 a month. Yeah, that would just be annoying, and I know some of you would probably pay for it, but I'm off the Apple Music train already. So I'm not really an audiophile. I've tried listening to higher end headphones with high fidelity audio, and I just don't really notice or care. So it's not going to be a game changer for me, but it's still something I could expect within the next month or so. The other thing that we thought we might have ended up seeing was a refreshed iPad mini, and I'm still leaning on the side of Quadruple UDC being mostly a software event and them saving hardware for the rest of the year. So I'm predicting that the next generation iPad mini, which I have a hard time getting excited for because it sounds like it's still going to have a home button, a forehead, and a chin, and mainly just going to be a spec boost and not much else. That iPad mini I'm predicting is going to launch alongside the budget iPad 9, which is rumored to have a 10.5-inch display, but the same footprint, probably a laminated display this time, and it'll be thinner, and they'll just want to refresh the budget iPad and the Mini 6 simultaneously and keep those two kind of together. But either way, I'm still going to be complaining that the iPad mini did not get the iPad Air treatment of one size bezel all the way around with Touch ID and no home button and USB-C. That's what I really wanted to see, but it sounds like it's not happening. And on top of that, we did see a lot of reports of a potential Apple Pencil 3, and they didn't really formulate into anything. If there was going to be a new Apple Pencil, I would have figured the April event would have probably been a good time to announce it. The only potential I could have imagined for another Apple Pencil was also a device that maybe supports the wireless charging of iPad Airs and Pros, but also had a lightning connector at the back, so you could charge it with a budget iPad or an iPad mini, and then Apple could just get rid of the Apple Pencil 1 and Apple Pencil 2 and combine them into one stylus that can do the job of both. But that's probably too much wishful thinking. I haven't seen any rumors or analysts suggest that, although I do think it would actually be somewhat of a smart idea, maybe a tad wasteful for people out there who have an iPad Pro and Air and are never going to use the lightning connector on the end of that Apple Pencil, but in which case just leave that covered up, leave that cap on and just use the smart connector for everything. I'm starting to feel like those leaks we got were most likely just prototype Apple Pencils that never actually saw the light of day. Until now, of course, where we're now speculating what they could be, but I'm guessing no new Apple Pencil for the rest of this year, though I'd love to be proven wrong. If there's other stuff that you guys were expecting at last month's event, feel free to let me know. What are you most looking forward to hardware-wise for the rest of 2021? This is your Apple Sheep here. I'll see you in the next one.